No one's done more to expose the deep state than me. I'm not going to allow you to be misled.
What's up, guys? Spenny. Dan Bongino announced that he is leaving his job, and it happened this weekend. Dan Bongino's last day at the FBI, saying from his last post from his official Dan Bongino account that has nearly 1 million subscribers, it was a busy last day on the job. This will be my last post on this account. Tomorrow I return to civilian life, spent an incredible year thanks to the leadership and decisiveness of President Trump. It was an honor of a lifetime to serve you, the American people. See you on the other side, says Dan. Now, a pretty epic final day. Obviously, the FBI had a huge hand in the capture of Nicolas Maduro and is now assisting in the charging of Nicolas Maduro in New York. Dan Bongino saying, God bless America. I believe that he was part of this operation. It's a really cool last day on the job. Obviously, people are giving lots of claps on the back to somebody who is a true public servant in the true term service. Dan Bongino gave up millions and millions of dollars to serve at the FBI, a thankless job, an impossible job, frankly, I think. Many people criticize what happened at the FBI in 2025. There's been ups and downs. It's been a major roller coaster, the good, bad, the ugly. Whatever, we've tried to call balls and strikes on this program. Here is a absolute strike, which is that there is nobody who gave up more, other than perhaps Donald Trump, to enter a life of public service than Dan Bongino. A totally and completely thankless job that, got Bongino a couple new enemies, right, online, and a ton of haters, and so on, and a lot of armchair quarterbacking. Dan Bongino obviously very proud of the work that he's done, posting here on his personal account that has 7 million followers. This account now is back and activated. This was the first post. It's just a photo of the FBI being represented actually at the Maduro seizure. You can see the CIA director, Marco Rubio, and Donald Trump there. This is John Ratcliffe. And so Dan Bongino very proud of this operation, and now Dan Bongino getting to work back in the old day. The old Dan is back now, which is great. Here comes the old Dan Bongino posting from his account, his first post back. It looks like he hasn't missed a beat, but he does have quite a few axes to grind. Here we go. Good to see you all. I missed you. Thanks for everything we worked on cleaning up. While we worked on cleaning up, working in the administration was the experience of a lifetime, and I'll have some announcements coming soon, but I'm taking a couple days to spend time with my family. Here's a couple of things. Thank you for your interest in the show and its return date. We will have something for you soon. The Trump team is not kidding around. It is an otherworldly experience from the other side. He's determined and focused, and having been around quite a few presidents, this one broke the mold. If we blocked you, meaning I assume blocking on this X account, it's because we care so little about your bullshit that we deem it not worthy of even seeing. If you're bitching and whining about it, that means you can't exist without seeing and commenting on ours. You'll need to get over that. We do it because there's nothing black pillars and anti-Trumpers want more than to create division and drama. We're about results, and we're going to talk about that soon. Love you all. Thanks again. Flaming Elmo emoji, says Dan Bongino. And this was seen by nearly 1 million people at time of recording, 7,000 reposts and 55,000 likes. Some good comments. Flaming Elmo emoji, there you go. And people dropping lots of memes saying welcome back. Glad, lots of good energy in this post. But that wasn't all. That wasn't enough for Bongino. He had to come back and do the extra work here, and this is where it gets very interesting. Let me add this, says Dan Bongino. From the jump, there's no confusion. I started in this movement as a candidate during the Tea Party movement, and I began my political commentary career shortly thereafter. I helped build this movement, and I sure as hell am not going to let it get hijacked by a group of black pillars, life losers, and grifters and bums. We are a movement guided by truth. The essence of the conservative ideology is the preservation of eternal truths. We are not the latest thing group. We are not political cannibals. I've watched quietly from the inside while doing the job I was hired to do, but I'm back now, and it's time to restore balance to the force. As we get ready to make some announcements about the future of the show, I want to warn the haters and the zeros, we've been at this a long time. We live for this stuff. This isn't our first, second, or 10th rodeo. We've seen a lot of dipshits come and go. We revel in making you angry enough to show your asses. It's glorious. We've got midterms coming up, and it's no time for bullshit. This administration is cooking, and real change simmers. If you're spending your entire day bitching and whining about the 3/4 of the term still left to go, then please find the exits. There's no time for it. It's not infighting when you excise a cancer killing the host. It's outfighting because you're not part of any movement I'm familiar with. Looking forward to the big things ahead. Can't wait to tell you about it, says Dan Bongino. What is this, ladies and gentlemen? Going after the black pillars, life losers, grifters, and bums. Well, without naming any names, because Dan doesn't, so I'm not going to be presumptive here. And if Dan Bongino wanted to name names, I assumed he would. I assume that what Bongino's going after has been the people on the inside, outside of the conservative movement, the MAGA movement, the America First movement, so-called, that have been creating enormous amounts of drama and division for their own personal gain, grifters, doing it in bad faith, bums, and doing it in order to rip apart the MAGA movement. That would be the black pillars and the life losers, because they are miserable people. We have called those people out. We have fought against it. We have tried our hardest not to engage in the drama and not to be someone other than a channeling force for good, to focus on the real enemy, which of course is the left that wants to kill us. And so we cheer on Dan Bongino coming back for clarity takes like this. Just a reminder of what Dan Bongino is capable of, what makes him such a powerful force, and what made him the #1 podcaster in the entire world is going scorched earth. And I think that Dan's going to do that now with more allegiance to the Trump administration than ever. It's going to be biblical like this.
Folks, where were the counter sniper assets to take out a sniper who again infiltrated the mid to outer perimeter? Where? Folks, from what we know of early reporting, this guy did not have a ghillie suit on. Do you know what a ghillie suit is? A ghillie suit is a camouflage disguise, which is nearly impossible to pick out. If this subject was sitting in the woodline with a ghillie suit and hadn't poked out the barrel of his rifle, we may be having a different conversation today. Folks, you can get a ghillie suit probably on Amazon or somewhere else, I would guess for a couple $100, maybe less. You think the Iranians aren't thinking of this right now? Where were the counter sniper assets? Were they not given enough? Where were the counter surveillance teams? The counter surveillance teams, these units prowl around the perimeter. Their sole purpose is to find cars that don't belong. Where did this guy park? How did he walk in with a rifle to the fence line? How did nobody see him? How come there were no post standers at each hole? Where was the CSU team? Is anyone in the media going to stop with the victory laps and ask questions? That's your freaking job. If it was President Biden, God forbid, you'd be interviewing this guy's kindergarten teacher right now. Oh, there, look, a ghillie suit right there. How much is it, guys? This is real. They just found this in the seconds. Here's a ghillie suit for adult XL, $25. On sale, folks. Imagine him in a ghillie suit. Would have been smarter. President Trump be dead right now. How did they not see him? Can we stop with the bullshit victory laps, please? How does Ron Rowe still have a job? Where were the CSU teams? Where were the optics, the surveillance optics? Now, granted, it was not, what was it, like 90 plus yesterday in Florida? Thermal imagery may not be helpful in a really hot day, but I'd rather have it than not. Where were the thermals? Where was the forward-looking infrared? Where was the drone surveillance? How did you miss this guy?